Welcome, I am Rails Eve and your host for Keep Traveling Your African Vacation, the only podcast which brings you insightful information in the African tourism industry by real tourism professionals. Today is our 26th episode and I have the pleasure of introducing owners Andrew Bannister and Alice Rowe from the Bannister Hotel in the very heart of Johannesburg, South Africa. Alice and Andrew, welcome to the show. Alice, I'm going to let you go first and ask you, for our listeners, whereabouts exactly are you geographically located?
Okay, Rail, we are on the outskirts of the inner city bowl, basically. We're within a kilometer of Park Station, where the Gautrain, our airport train, ends its journey. And we are right next to the universities of the Waterstrand, Wits University, and UJ. So that just gives you an idea that we're right in the middle of the middle.
Andrew, to get involved in a hotel that's in the middle of Johannesburg, and let's be honest, you're doing very well, but it is in the middle of Johannesburg. What made you go that way?
It's really because I'm a naive optimist and I had my photographic studio in the building and then I ended up buying the building. Then someone else started renting a floor to cater for cross-border traders, giving them accommodation. He ran away owing me money, so I then thought, if I have a hotel, then I can afford to go fishing all the time. So I thought this will be an easy way to go on luxury fishing vacations around the world. And that's what got me into it.
But you are finding that you're getting past all the hard stuff, Alice? Are you winning against the issues of being right in the CBD?
I think we are on the cusp of something really exciting happening in Joburg. We've just recently joined up with a collaborative called Josie My Josie, run by a very dynamic woman, Dawn Robertson, who used to run SA Tourism and also started off the Constitution Hill precinct. And she has taken on the task of joining up all the inner city stakeholders and making a grassroots movement of how we can clean up the city, make it safe, and make it accessible to visitors and to the people of Johannesburg, actually. I think things are looking up for us. We are expanding our business.
Andrew, you mentioned the new rooftop restaurant. Why would locals come there to have a good meal?
I think our food is very well priced and it's pretty good food. So you can get a reliable, good meal with us. And especially during the lockdowns, it was our restaurant that kept us going. When our hotel occupancy crashed to 5%, it was really the restaurant that's kept us going. And previously, we've had to turn away big groups who wanted to do workshops or conferencing. So we couldn't handle previously a bigger crowd than, say, about 80 people. And even that was pretty cramped in our existing space. So now we've built on the roof. So it's quite a beautiful venue. I think it'll be one of the more beautiful rooftop venues in Joburg. I think it'll become popular with people both booking it during the week for whatever events or workshops they want to run, and also on the weekends for people who want to have a party.
So, Alice, coming back to you, what activities do you offer at the hotel, or should I say amenities?
So we've got our bar and restaurant is very popular. Look, we are constrained by space. So now that we're building this beautiful rooftop, there's going to be this multi-purpose event space, but then also an open terrace veranda that looks out over the inner city with a fire kitchen in one corner. We will be open flame, open sky, and the theatre of food. We all know how South Africans love a braai. So I think going to be our unique proposition.
Johannesburg is renowned for being a bit of a dangerous place. What can you tell the listeners, Andrew, that are listening to this, both local and international guests? What can you tell them to alleviate their worries about coming and staying at the Bannister Hotel?
Our immediate area is very secure. We have Bromfontein Improvement District, which hires bad boy security who take care of security on the street. So there's very little in terms of crime that affects us or our guests. It's quite strange. In our immediate area, you're very safe. But if you had to walk 3 blocks away at sunset, I would advise my clients not to do that.
So it's a little bit like being at a game lodge. At the lodge itself, you're very safe, but walk a couple of 100 meters and you're going to be eaten.
A bit like that.
How are you guys dealing with water restrictions and also electricity problems?
We have a large storage for water, so we never run out of water. And fortunately, I bought a generator before the power cuts became an issue. So the generators kept us going, but we're also adding a whole lot of solar in the next month and a half. So we will largely be fine whatever happens. If we've got a lot of solar, I think it's about 97 panels. We've got a generator in case it's overcast for days on end, and we've got an endless supply of water.
Alice, tell me, what are you doing in terms of staffing the hotel, perhaps educating the members of your staff, and perhaps bringing people from grassroots into the hotel?
Rail, we've got a very clear policy at the hotel, and it's very simple. Everybody starts at the same place, and that's in the scullery, washing dishes and cleaning and scrubbing. And then we grow our staff from within. Even our front desk manager, Monday, started from very humble beginnings, and we grow people through the business. We actively put people on courses. We are willing to pay 50% any studies that anybody in our hotel staff want to do. And if it's hospitality related, we'll pay the whole caboodle. So we have a very low staff turnover because we see ourselves as a family and we work together to improve the business together. And every year we make sure that when December comes, our staff all get a profit share. So the better the business does, the better we all do.
That's a good way to go, I think. Andrew, I'm not quite sure how long you've been in the hospitality sector, but I'm assuming during your time in the business, there's been perhaps a funny or scary moment that you want to share with us that is going to make the listeners put a smile on their face. And I'm going to put you on the spot. I might come back to Alice and do the same to her, but I'm giving her a couple of minutes to think about it.
That's a difficult one. So much some of it is people behaving badly in hotels, which unfortunately people do tend to do. I can't think of any particular incident at the moment, though, without...
You don't have to mention names or indict yourself. Don't worry, we wouldn't want to put you into that position. The two of you are obviously partners in the business. You share the joys of it, but there's obviously times when I'm sure you've wanted to perhaps bash your heads together to solve a problem. Do you want to share anything with us?
Oh, Andrew and I bash heads all the time, but that's just not worth discussing. But I can tell you that Mr. Bannister here is a Joburg fixture of note. And wherever we go, whichever city we go to in the country, you will always hear somebody go, Mr. Bannister. Andrew is known everywhere. And the number of times that people come into the bar and walk up to Andrew and give him a hug and shake his hand and say, Mr. Bannister, when I was a student or when I was down and out or when my luck was down, you gave me a mattress on the floor, you helped me or you fed me or you did something, and I will never forget you and I will never forget this place. There is so much love for the Bannister, and by that, the building and the man in Joburg.
I think that's very honorable, Andrew. Fantastic. Like hearing those kinds of stories. And on that matter, have you guys got any plans for future development of other hospitality properties, perhaps?
No, I think ideally we would like to spend more time fishing. I think I had to learn so much about this business through making mistakes, really, and often quite expensive mistakes. If my children showed any interest in the business, then I might look at something like that.
I'm not very different. My honeymoon was 16 days fishing on the Zambezi River. That was 20 odd years ago. And because my wife then caught more fish than me, I decided that she stays at home now and I prefer to go by myself. Otherwise, she makes me look silly. But I've definitely got the fishing bug like you, Andrew. We're coming to the end of the show. I know that you've been generous enough in giving a prize for a listener. Andrew, in your own words, would you be happy just to tell us what you're going to be giving away?
Yeah, we'll give away a prize, 3 nights accommodation at the Bannister for a single person or a couple, and that'll come with free breakfast.
Yeah, and then also as part of our association and our love and our passion for the inner city, we would add some fantastic walking tours and experiences that only Joburg can offer.
I hope that we'll get some listeners coming and taking you up on that. Alice, Andrew, thank you so much. I really appreciate and learning about your property. You're very genuine. I can see that, and I'm sure the listeners will hear it. So thanks very much for your time and energy on the show.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
What a really nice couple. The owners Andrew Bannister and Alice Rowe from Bannister Hotel in the very heart of Johannesburg, South Africa. Do not forget that prize giveaway of a 3-night B&B stay at the Bannister Hotel. All the entry details can be found in the show notes of this episode, or head over to www.wildsunsets.travel/podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please rate the show on Apple Podcasts or drop me an email. Tune in again next week when I will be chatting to co-founder and CEO Sarah Dusek from Luvhondo Lodge in the Soutpansberg Mountains in South Africa. My name is Rael Zeev, and consider this. A few years from now, you will not remember how much it cost you, but you will still remember the memories you made. Keep traveling. Co-founder and CEO Sarah Dusek from Luvhondo Lodge in the Soutpansberg Mountains in South Africa.